Hey everybody.
The day was a very powerful.
Powerful day in terms of me really doing some serious reflection. I'm so thankful that I'm able to do that. You know, it's like I'm a monk in a monastery, and
Southern China.
I am reflecting on in 1990 I had this car accident with this individual. I had a rental car, and the police seen it the whole nine. The guy ran into me. So I think I got a couple thousand for that. And I made a mistake and called my mother to let her know that I was about to take a one-way trip to Tibet, and she talked me out of it. So based on the data that I've studied, regardless what's the reasoning behind something, there are no justifiable resentments, no remorse, and no regret, because there's a lesson behind that. So that's going to lead me into the information that I'm about to share. But what I also wanted to say was, there's an individual named, I believe his name is Dr. Claude Anderson, I believe it is. And he had been the kind of individual who has been in some very prestigious positions and been able to see things from the inside and the outside in terms of education. And what he was talking about was that, I believe it was, he said the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th Amendment to the Constitution was deliberately designed for the people then called blacks. And so most of us, we don't understand that when the so-called founding fathers created this great country, they didn't include us within it. But by the same token, based on my studies, they copied everything from us. Now I'm going to give a far-fetched kind of construct that works for me, and that is, I believe that we were the original and we stepped away from our creator by choice. And so the more we stepped away, the more God gave us exactly what we wanted. My reasoning to say that is 0 plus 0 equals 0. So if I take everything away from you and even include that you'll forget who you are, then how would you ever wake up? Because a man is definitely not going to tell you. Like, for example, right, I'm in Tucson, Arizona, and just looking around, you know, I don't mean no harm. But not just here, other places I've been. But here it's more like individuals that are close to Mexico, and you have a lot of Mexican restaurants and stuff like that, so you can't really get what you want like you normally used to in the East. But not only that, it's other stuff that's like going on that let you know what's going on. It's all good. It's great. Especially the lessons, right? My lessons is coming like this. I submitted myself to the big G, the big O, the big D in such a way that I said, Lord, I don't want to be beat no more. I don't want to be down no more. I don't want to be last no more. I don't want to be arguing with nobody. I want to know how to come in a way that it's like dealing with a bully. How's that saying go? A greater power only concedes to a greater power. But it got to come in a way that, you know, you can't really put it in a building. Not one person has it all. And if they do, You have to think, right? Like certain training schools, mystery schools, whatever. If you're going to be a top level soldier, you have to be trained. Like, like I think one of the best ways to train a person is they don't even know they're under training. And they can break and quit at any time, and you'd be like, yeah, they was bad. They was in the runnings, but that's not the one. I had somebody that was supposed to be a troll on my joint, right? I was laughing at myself. I said, this person don't even know that I'm happy just to be out the cell. But if you come in my world,
Nothing gonna prepare.
prepare you. And I'm learning how now to come in your world at will, because I'm on the camera. I'm the one talking. You want to hear what I'm saying. And see, really, if it's a follower thing, my followers don't even know I'm alive. It's like how you have a master painter, and he dies penniless. Yeah, but he's not famous until he dies. Then you know, now his painting like 100 grand each for a little joint, you know. For a signature, it's like 45,000. You know, stupid stuff. You know, $1 million. Depending on what level that this individual is at, especially if he can make his paintings look like they were alive. Because you know, when God give it to you, he give it to you the way you be like, God, you know, you don't know whether to be scared, whether to be like with it, can you change your mind? Well, you don't want to change your mind because it's so. So at the end of the day, it's like I feel at that kind of level where it's not even like about me competing with nobody. All I got to do is be creative. I had a friend of mine. I kept telling her, I said, you know what? I don't know my purpose. I really don't know what's going on. Just what she hit me with. She said, you'll be asking that question 102. And then she gave me something, you know, like with the mafia when they say, I'm gonna give you an offer you can't refuse. The offer may be, in order for me to allow you to live, you must give me your first two born. Like, who does that? Do you got people that do that? Yeah, oh yeah. That's the kind of world we live in. But we'll see, but we passed that. In order for me even to visualize that and kick that, I got to be at a certain level. And really, in my life, I'm past being afraid. Like, I'm not getting in nobody's car. I don't care what you got. I'm not getting in your car. Period. See, I learned the hard way. I'm married to God. I'm not married to my children. I'm not married to my consort. I'm not married to my wife. I'm married to God. And then when I get married to God, He give me everything. You think I'm giving that up for y'all foolishness? Oh no. Look, I was listening to the dude Claude Anderson, and here he in the system, out the system, the commissioner this and that, ran this and ran that. Then we got Beatrice Foods with what's the dude that got the brain aneurysm? They killed him. Then you got what's the dude that was the lawyer dude that was the head of O.J. Simpson's team? They killed him. It don't take no brain scientist to figure out what's up. See, this is what I'm learning. I'm learning if I ever get myself together, I can train 100,000 people through their smartwatch for 10 minutes. Think it's a game, as the rappers would say. The rappers ain't rapping what I'm talking about. Future ain't even rapping what I'm talking about. His name is supposed to be Future. You know, I was just listening to some information a minute ago that I had to listen to remind me where I was at. I'm so far behind enemy lines. I gotta look in the mirror and ask myself, what's my name? But it's good though. Because see, this is the main thing I learned more than anything else. When you got God in your life, you're no longer alone. And you can feel him. And he'll deliberately make you think for a couple seconds that he's gone, and you cry like a baby, and then he right there, and you like, oh God, thanks, oh man. He said, how you like me when I'm not there? He said, I'm always there, but in your own mind, I give you free will. I give you what you want, don't play. And I was studying the other day, right, they say that the first warriors that looked like me, our skills were like on a godly level. Until we tasted mankind being in a human body. And then once you put a baby brain into a new body, you can only begin and end with a baby. I know that sounds silly. So I did my research. Just like when I used to go up in the banks the same way. I didn't realize in order to do anything, it take money to do anything on that level. But now I'm like, yo, why even do that? No. Oh, no. No. Not when I can learn how to manipulate subatomic particles with my mind. All I got to do is wait on it. You know in the videos when they say wait on it? A little teeny stuff for me is already happening. I can teach it at will. And guess what? It's true. You know, at one time I thought we was all, happy-go-lucky and we all together and all that. And then I found out there is an enemy. Wow, I didn't know that there was an enemy. So the first enemy is within and the next enemy is without. The enemy that's without has forgotten why he the enemy. The enemy within, very few of us even know it's there. So for me, in my case, I'm just thankful. Like we used to say back in the day, I can turn a corner.
You know,
It's funny the kind of people that listen to my joint, right? They got a demonstration legally that as long as you don't cause an accident or actually run into somebody and hurt them, the police pull you over, you give them a certain document, and guess what he say? Have a nice day, sir. Boy, you gotta look here. Somebody told me this too, right? I was waiting for everybody to get on board. I was like, yo, I shouldn't do this. Nobody don't know what I'm talking about, blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. And then I found out that the law is in place to maintain the law when you know the law. See, I'm like this here, right? The Lord done already told me already. He said, as long as you do what I tell you to do, you know I come, right? I'm like a banana peel to a gorilla. Don't try me. So I say, okay, Lord, okay, yes, sir, yes, sir, I'm listening to you, sir. He said, I tell you what I want you to do. He said, the first thing I want you to do is, you got 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen in. He said, listen to my voice. He said, I can come in a bird shrill. I can be the wind blowing through the leaves, but it's only for your ears. It don't matter who tracking you. He said, what people done forgot is that without me, don't nothing run. No microwaves, no satellites, no fuel, no elevator, nothing. He said, when I shut it down, I shut it all the way down. He said, you with that kind of force. He said, so you like me? Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I like it. It's like when you see a very beautiful lady and you like smooth with it and you don't even really say nothing. You be like, you pour in them so you can't tell nobody, right? You just got luxuriating this yourself, right? Young lady, when she walked by you like she walking on air. And she ain't broke. Yeah, she's there doing an architectural convention. And she's the speaker at the event. Because she's on the sign right there. You look at the sign and looking at her like, okay, okay. Well, you was going to go to it anyway. I mean, you didn't know she was going to be there. Yeah, man. See, at the end of the day, it's about having that kind of life where you can duplicate yourself 10,000 times, but it be that person's personality, and the door is wide open for them to be whatever that they want. But see, I'm learning some things, right? And what I'm learning is this. A friend of mine used to tell me, right? I didn't believe him when he told me. He say, you know that he was an assistant principal. He told me, he said, you know that on the scoring and the grades, that between third and fourth grade, that is how the future projection is done in order to build prisons. I said, man, he's crazy. Until I read the joint myself. Like the individuals that own private prisons, that are hooked up with the BOP, the Bureau of Prisons, in terms of shares and stocks. I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? I really didn't really talk to y'all today really about the book, though I got the book with me, right? I was just like in a job talkative mood because the day has been so great, especially me getting towards some of my customers. You know what I'm saying? Like I just did a demonstration today where the ARV's like 410, and I just went at the people. I said my offer has to be 70% for Tucson, so I had to basically lowball them because of some upgrade work that needs to be done. So I could only put down an offer of 337, 999. Yeah, it don't matter it don't matter if someone pounce on or not. I'm just going through the motions. Going through the motions. It's like practice. It got to go down because I'm learning the market. And I had one dude, right? He was talking to me, right? And he thought he was gonna get slick. I was like, okay. I said, you're gonna get ready to walk into a booby trap. Bear traps, the traps they got for them hogs that got the teeth that come out there.
Yeah, because you don't understand.
What you're dealing with. I am far from stupid. And then look here, this is the part I like. For anybody that's trolling, anybody that's saying anything crazy, is this. There's a certain spiritual axiom, and it is like, what do you call that? It's like secret. And so, this is the law. Who do you listen to? So I didn't know, right? That all I got to do is do a certain thing, and I'm plugged in. You know, just before I got stabbed up in '84, or maybe it might have been after '80. Yeah, might have been between '84 and '85. An accident occurred, and I didn't know at the time, but I'm able to see ether with my eyes. I can defocus and I can see it. I don't like to do it a lot, but I can see it. It looks like waves. It looks like on a summer day when like in like Route 66 when it's real hot on the road and you can see it look like the road is wavy, but that's what I be seeing. I know that is what they call the ether plane. Didn't even know. Then some other stuff happened too. There ain't no reason to get on that. All I know is, let me see what time it is. Okay, it's almost 20 minutes. So I may read this one part. Forget you've made mistakes. Here we must point out the wonderful truth that Jesus Christ brought to the world. The revelation that the universe is owned and operated by a God of love. For me, you know how they got that corny commercial with that brother where they say game changer? Well, this is a game changer for me. See, because that sign that says, hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. What that allows for you is not to allow evil to even enter into your consciousness. And then, let's say, well, all of us have been through something that we consider evil as far as bad stuff happening, especially if it's prompters. As you're making sure that nothing get in, all you do is jettison everything that ain't right. Like you cleaning the house, but from within. And you can tell. Because I have data that shows me step by step. It's mathematical. This ain't a figure of my mind. That's just like the lady across from me who's spraying water for her dirt. I guess to lay the dirt down or whatever. And I don't know, like normally I wouldn't even, yeah, I'll be around about this time, right? But I know she's probably looking at me like saying, what is he doing? Sometimes I can just get ready to get in my car and act like I'm an alien getting into an old car. But one thing I can say, my brother-in-law, look, I just got one thing I gotta get taken care of tomorrow, but it's a beautiful situation. So it says, it is difficult today to properly report the magnitude of this discovery since mankind up to then had always lived in terror of a God of vengeance. But Jesus reported a God of love whose very essence is one of tolerance and forgiveness. It is not simply a coincidence that the Christian world has progressed in 2,000 years, a score of times farther than all of mankind in the previous eons of existence. It is because Jesus taught that a man needs suffer the consequence of error only once and no more, because the message that Jesus brought to a world fraught with morbidity and oppression and disease was simply that a man need never carry the burden of his mistakes with him. Oh my God! That means that all that time that I kept going back and forth to prison, I'd be beating my... Look, I don't need no trolls, y'all. Look, I want to tell my trolls right now. The trolls is in me. They beat me left and... They don't even need y'all, for real. They don't need y'all. Seriously. Like, it's overkill. Like, I'm getting beat all the time. Seriously. One thing I can say is this. Because I'm getting extra help from the spiritual realm, when I get done with myself within, you don't want to be playing. You know how easy it is to find an IP address? You know how easy it is to back engineer electronics now? And you want to play with me? I said NSA. I'm trained as an electronics expert on everything. I just refuse to go to work with somebody. I refuse to work with somebody's radio. I'm not repairing no TVs. And then, you know, when you spiritually blessed, right? When the spirit truly raises you, the spirit needs you. He ain't going to plan. He be like, yo, check this out. You ain't going out tonight. Look, you're going to pop some popcorn. You're going to order this Chinese food. And I got this bad movie I want you to check out. Plus, it's going to be something interesting. I'm not going to allow you to mess up. I didn't train you too long. You was one of my sleepers. I used to wonder why after high school and all that, and prison and all that, that I got so good with not just algebra 1, algebra 2, then I would start getting into trigonometry and calculus, right? And creating my own equations, but there wasn't nobody I could talk to about it. It didn't make no sense for me to get no job in Silicon Valley, like in California, because all it would do, what happened to me is I would have been co-opted. That's not going to happen. That's like trying to add water with oil. No. Then I started studying sacred geometry. Then I was also a geometry teacher and physics. Yeah. So when I think about the geometry, the physics, it was something else. It was something else I taught. It was five subjects. I had to choose chemistry, geometry, chemistry. Yeah, chemistry. Yes. Yes. The chemical makeup of everything, man, other than what they have not released. Went online and found them too, especially symbols. You feel me? Just a thought that I was about to share, but I'm not. Okay. How prominent was this point in Jesus' teaching? Take up thy bed and walk. Thy sins are forgiven thee. Go and sin no more. It is a mistake to assume that Jesus was interceding between a revengeful God and a sinner, or that his speaking of sin had anything to do with morality or ethics. What he was saying was simply, forget that you have made mistakes and stop thinking of the mistakes you made. All is well, good is everywhere. Well, what? So hold on. Let me get that in my head what that means. All is well and good is everywhere. So that means if good is everywhere, then that means there ain't no evil, except that which I create in my own mind and perpetuate. And then somebody try to kick evil to me instead of responding opposed to reacting. A response can be internal. That means like when a person do what they do, it's almost like a combination of what's that dude? Okay, I'm gonna do Sugar Ray Robinson mixed with Muhammad Ali at his highest. That'd be about 1970 when they, because they made him drop his license for 3 years. Mixed with Sugar Ray Leonard when he came back with what's the dude name? I forgot his name. He was from Detroit. Tommy Hearns, right? And then a combination with that, Mike Tyson at his height in one person. Check out the vision of that thought. Just the thought alone. Just a combination of thought. That's called creativity. And I used to wonder why certain individuals, white males, in their house they'd have a bust. You mean like a piece, like a thing that was chiseled, like a Julius Caesar, maybe Beethoven. What's the dude named Napoleon Bonaparte, Alexander the Great, the robber barons back in the day. Was it Carnegie? Might have been Carnegie. Anyway, the dude that owned U.S. Steel. Anyway, he'd have them all in his house and all that. I used to wonder, why would they do that? Now I know. Now this is how my demonstration going down, and this is how I'm asking for it. I want 1,000 of them in a row, and I know everything they know. They call that the co-op. Like my thing ain't even kicked in yet. I'm still putting on the suit to get into the, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, only cause like I said, these videos is really for me. It says now we are not likely to have a world free of error for some time. There's little doubt that all of us will contribute some degree of error regardless of how enlightened we strive to be. But the plain and comforting fact is ever present. we need never fear the consequence of error unless we insist on carrying it around in our minds as a burden that grows like a snowball, attracting other evil to it at an ever increasing rate. I'd like to give some insight on what that's really all about, but I don't really want to go there right now because the joint's been moving for a minute. But I will say this: there is a power that moves and manifests 24/7. That is like it's like a decentralized force that the Lord put in place. And so basically what this force is based on is the more you think evil, the more evil comes to you. The more you think positive, the more positive you work God. But the problem, the main issue that you're going to have to deal with is the prompts within. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But what I can tell you is this. My life is turning around so fast that it's hard to explain. So in the meantime, all I got to do is do the little stuff that would take me forever. Like recently, I was separated from my daughter for almost like 20-something years. Lord dropped her on me. Bam! She's doing great. She's a graduate of a certain college. I ain't gonna say what that is. And she's awesome. You know, she was, asked me about certain things, and we're bonding very well. My son, we were separated. That's going to come back as well, because now I'm where I'm supposed to be. And then what's really important to me is that I can come back and help my own family. That's number one. And then I know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing about somebody trying to hit you with the negative, it's almost like a fast boxer. Like when they throw the joint, you see it in your mind, and you're way over here. They say, I can't get him no more. He's wearing me out. He's stressing me out because I can't get him now. And then when you're dealing with good and you're dealing on the positive, it makes everybody else submit. It makes you submit first. So who you submit with? The big G, the big O, the big D. I'm off. This is the longest one I done did, but I still like it. It's going to take a minute for it to, what they call upload. Tomorrow.